Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Journey. So as you can see, we are on the Trials of Abyss. This is actually not unlocked at this point. We need to reach and continue moving through the AFK stages, but we also know that the Song of Strife is coming up, which means we have the countdown timer. So the event, we're gonna hop over and see Song of Strife. Like I said, this is up. We only have 9 more days before we can actually get into the season. So I know I do have to grind. We grinded a lot of AFK Journey out today. You can see complete all AFK challenges, reach resonant level 240. So once we got to a certain point, it seems like it's going a lot smoother. We've been going through a lot more content, but you can see there's going to be a lot. Now, a lot of players were questioning the end game. That essentially we are going to see an AFK Journey, and this is really the answer to the end game. Doesn't mean that it's going to be all effective and it's going to work incredibly well. That is yet to be seen when we get these seasons and seeing exactly kind of what's going to happen with it or how it's going to work is going to be super interesting to see. And I hope the live stream, I think it's working correctly. Looks like it is. But yeah, overall, I think maybe the camera's a little messed up, or I'm not seeing something. I'm going to hop over and have to fix that, because I'm not sure what's going on with it. They updated it again, and I don't know why. Essentially, it's doing this again, where a lot of stuff is not showing up. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, John. Yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff that is essentially coming, and there we go. We do get a lot of resources out of here, but we've been going through, and it's been kind of crazy with this game. So it seemed like everything was progressing. We were going through, we were kind of cruising right through it, and then literally we got like this increase, the final push right here. The seasons were coming. They've been announcing stuff like crazy, and it seems like all the players right now are really just playing catch up with everything, which is really, really tough. That it's been, again, just kind of a very, very big drag on getting kind of the catch up. What's going on, Pluto? And again, it's kind of weird because I seen the screen capture and I see everything else. I don't know if it got rid of the camera again. Last time it did this, it did something where it was kind of weird, like it wouldn't work or the camera didn't pop up. But don't know if something, again, is kind of going on, which there we go. I think we got it up. But it's weird because sometimes, every time they've been doing updates to Streamlabs, I've had a lot of problems with Streamlabs. So leveling up our heroes, let's go in here. Now, we've been using a lot of our diamonds. We have some resources. Also got lucky with some of the pulls, and I want to pop open these chests because we got really lucky with some of the pulls in here, and we actually got another copy of Smokey. Now that is going to be able to take our first hero built up a little bit further, which again, looking at Smokey, he's a very good one, but we did get 20 copies of Smokey, which means, boom, there is Supreme Plus in the very first #1 Supreme Plus hero that we have. When triple tap hits a poison target, its damage is increased 1.5 times the dart poison damage dealt per second. So again, building this hero out now in the entirety, our first Supreme Plus hero. Took a lot to get built. And again, you can see we're already at 221. So we're already, most of these heroes, we've already moved up to 230. And even looking, I believe we can go to 230 or even getting past 230. We've been making a ton of progression in here. So I actually went through all of AFK Arena, so all of the natural quests. Looking here, like I said, I went through, we did the last leg. As you can see, guys, we have chests everywhere. We have zones everywhere. We have all of the chests down here. We have so much more content to go through within the next probably day or two, finish all this out. And you can see I went through actually one zone in here, which was Peaks 5. We have one chest that is left in here, so we're going to go ahead and kill this one out. I want to do some summons here. In here, we can do some challenges. But overall, this game has been incredibly, very cool to see how they built it. I'm excited to see the seasons. I know a lot of other players have kind of echoed my exact sentiment. And the big reason is the ability to essentially go through a lot of the content, but also be able to really strategize a lot of the content, including all of the boss modes. That is probably something that I feel like a lot of players kind of overlooked at the beginning, but there is so much strategy to this game, which is one of the reasons, again, I am absolutely loving the strategy side of it, and I was hoping it would let me insta-kill these. But overall, where we are, again, I know I needed to put some time and effort in here. I know we needed to get some of these battles knocked out. Even when it comes to the tower progression, I have to do a lot of tower progression. Wish I had chests left. All the way too much fun opening them. Yeah, I'm getting there, Brownie. Like I said, I pushed through the 2 additional chapters today to actually get everything unlocked. And I feel like at this point, when we go through, we do all the cleanup. We're on 230 right now. We'll get probably almost to 240. I would say even getting some of these heroes now all the way to 240. I think we're going to be able to getting through, again, these couple stages with the chest, with our rewards, with our loot. I feel like 240, we're really knocking right on level 240, which of course means that we just need a little bit more time, and we should be able to grind out a lot of those AFK Arena stages, meaning that we're going to be maxed. We're going to be able to essentially get ready for the season with the 9 days we still have left. Of course, doing more summons, building out the heroes. And if you remember, I did some videos actually on my my other account that we had for gaming that was actually focused around Dragonair, and Dragonair did seasons as well. And overall, they were very, very popular with how Dragonair did the seasons. And a lot of players I know were super impressed with the progression and how they kind of built it out. They even made season exclusive heroes, which if you've seen kind of what is going on now, we do have heroes that are coming out. In this, essentially, the way that it's built with the seasonality of the game is right now we are in the wilder season. So that's essentially where they said we're in the wilder season. That's what we're seeing right now, kind of the basic, or more just kind of the basic season itself. We're moving into the mauler season. So if you've seen some of the posts, if you've seen some of the videos from other YouTubers, we're moving into a season where this next season, the season of Strife, is going to be all about maulers. We actually have 2 new mauler heroes that are going to be coming down the pipeline. Don't know exactly if it's just going to be regular summons, if they're going to be the rate up summons. We don't know at this point, but as they continue essentially adding new heroes to AFK Arena, we're going to be building them up as they're released. And I'm trying to get ahead kind of the curve. So looking at the gear we're getting in here, even looking at literally all of these chests, all of the loot, everything else, still have to go ahead and do all the town quests. I'm hoping to make some progression, essentially to get through, like I was saying, a lot of different content, to get a lot of different loot in here is really what we're focused on and what we're doing right now. And I thought, what a better time than to come on here, than to stream a lot of the AFK Arena, or excuse me, the AFK Journey, because we're going through the content and we're farming this content anyways. So it does make a big difference in here to go ahead and farm out some of this content. So if you got questions, guys, definitely drop them in there. Again, the progression wise, we've made some really good guild progression. We got a lot of resources out of there, but I know we also do have to push to get essentially all of our gear built out as well. Now that is something that I kind of overlooked. D2 was actually talking about it a little bit earlier today, was having enough resources essentially to not only build out all of your heroes, but to also build out all of their gear, which is again is going to be kind of a requirement, is building out not only hero, but the gear. And of course, we know based on the seasons that as you're building out heroes in here, it's going to make a really big difference how high you have the heroes built, because that's going to be the translation to the season. And of course, with the seasonality of AFK Journey, we're going to be able to make essentially a lot of progression a lot faster with having these heroes built out. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you guys think of the seasons? I know, and I don't know if a lot of you have actually played some other titles, some other gacha games, some other games essentially that have a seasonality aspect to it. But again, I experienced this in another game, and it did work incredibly well. I was pretty impressed with how essentially the seasons of the games did work. So cleaning up these chests, again, we're getting diamonds out of here. We're also getting essence, which I'm hoping, again, we can get up to 240. Essentially have our first hero at 240. We have a week to farm out the towers, which of course is going to give us essentially the essence to build up these heroes a little bit further. Hopefully we can get into some of the new content or some of the later game content again, where a lot of players are kind of stuck right now and they're just buying their time going through. I know a lot of players also have made a crazy amount of progression in essentially the aisle or the end game piece that we have right now. We haven't even unlocked it. we haven't got to the ability to move into the end game. I love you for, oh, thank you, SS. Thank you for joining us for the stream. Like I said, I was hopping on to do some farming. I know I need to do a lot of catch up. D2 kept yelling at me saying I definitely needed to catch up, which we're getting there. And I'm really liking it. Honestly, I didn't think coming off of playing the PTR, really playing the game from its entirety from the beginning when we very, very first released AFK Journey, I didn't think I'd like the game as much as I do like the game. It's been really, really cool to see how many players have downloaded this game and really the feedback. I would say that that's probably one big thing that I noticed is the feedback for this game has been actually incredibly popular, which is cool. It's really cool. Anytime, you know, Lilith throws out a title, I've played all of them. I've played Call of Dragons. We played Dislight. We played Warpath. We've played pretty much all of their titles. And they are a major, major player, again, in the gacha space. A lot of titles, and they do incredibly well. So let's see, guys. So is that cleaning up? Oh, no, we got a lot more in 6 to do. Been subscribed for 4 years. Thank you for subbing to the channel. 4 years ago, we really didn't have much of a channel, but now we are closing in on 38,000. Pluto, I have to get back to you. I know, I think I seen an email for you, and I don't check my email every single day. 100,000% Pluto. I'm going to have to hop on there. And I think you had mentioned when I first read it that it was hooked up to. Yeah, I definitely want to do the viewer summons in their entirety. I know, again, with content-wise and everything else, viewer summons, I promise you, Pluto, and I'm going to jot this down. I'm going to do the viewer summons and hop in there within the next day or two. And drop me a message. So just as a reminder in there, Pluto, what are you looking to build? I'm not sure if we're just going for specific heroes or if there's, you know, draconic heroes. Let me know exactly what you want to build in there. So I can really take a look at it and break it down with what we need and what we want to build. Absolutely, Pluto. I will do the viewer summons. I am interested in them. We did them for an crazy amount of time. Definitely want to get back into them. Didn't even see, oh yeah, this is the one. And I like using Temsia, as when you talk about a solo hero that heals herself, works very, very well in a ton of content. What is going on? Soul is here as always. Thank you for joining us, Soul. And again, we're doing kind of a last minute kind of farm here. And of course, if you guys are not pushing the content within AFK Journey, you're going to be struggling in the seasons. You're going to be falling behind on the seasons. I cannot stress how important it is right now, guys, with essentially 9 more days for the season. You have to start the season out. You have to start it out day 1, or essentially you're going to be kind of behind from the very, very beginning of AFK Journey. And I feel like, you know, with other seasons kind of queued up before this, now they said the season's going to last 4 months, which makes me think there's going to have to be a lot of content for it. Also love the finance channel. Oh yeah, the finance channel, guys, we're over 6,500 subscribers, which is kind of crazy because I know some of the subscribers for this channel joined me on the finance channel. Absolutely, we are putting out daily content on both of the channels. Yeah, 6,500 plus already on the finance channel, which of course goes out to everybody because pretty much everyone's life is influenced by finance. But of course, most of you know that that is what I do professionally, is with the financial and the financial counseling, the consulting, really the planning, everything. So the season's supposed to be May 3rd. I believe it was May 3rd. There's a countdown on your server. Now, of course, Soul, depending on your server, every server, and they've said this from the beginning, every server is going to have a different launch date depending on the launch date of the server. However, every server is going to end on the same day. So that is something to really keep in mind. Again, it says on there when your launch day is going to be. Essentially, it gives you a countdown like it does on this one. We are on server number 1. And of course, this was the very first server when we came into AFK Journey. But like I said, your specific server is going to have a specific time of when the server is going to be available. Which channel exactly? It is Furry Hippo Finance. That is the, if you're looking for the finance channel, guys, Furry Hippo Finance is the finance channel that I do all the financial education. We do a lot of the investing in there. We do a lot of different things on there, honestly, but all 100% all in the financial realm. Now here, I like the tactical drills, even here. And again, the strategy that we pick up in this game, I feel like we're gonna have to stun. And I'm feeling like maybe stun 1. There we go. Wait. And stun 2. I've been getting a lot better at these. Boom. Now both the guns are down. I think we're going to get it. We got a stun, but can we take it out one more hit? We got it. I've been getting really good at the tactical drills. I'm using the resources. Now, of course, we know that there's going to be a lot more tactical drills coming with the season. Again, they said there's going to be a ton, that there is literally a ton of content that is coming, which is awesome. Gives really good advice. Oh, thank you, SS. I'm server 25. So Soul, go to the Strife, go to the events tab, see if you have a date on there. I'm kind of curious because again, they said it's going to be based on when the server was released. So that's really the big thing, is based on the server release, because we actually didn't get the 9-day countdown until yesterday, Soul. So on server 25, you might essentially be maybe a day behind us. You might be a day behind us for where your server is, essentially. When an ally receives heals or buffs from an ally, ultimates deal more damage. So again, a lot of times I put Temsia in here just for the simple fact that Temsia heals herself. Again, when you see the buffs. And I think we can take it down pretty easy. I'm S56 and I have the 98. Oh, you do? So I wonder exactly like when they started that, Lex. Because remember, when we launched AFK Journey, we did kind of the early release. With AFK Journey, they released the servers, which when we got the server, there were 15. Within like a matter of, I believe it was a day or two, we were up to like 50 something servers. Then within, I believe a couple days, we were at hundreds of servers. How do we see what servers? So if you go to this little sprocket, when you go to, I believe it's character switch, server number 1. So right there is S1. But when you look at the servers, I believe right now, we're at hundreds of servers. If I remember correctly, I think we're at hundreds, if not coming up on 1,000 servers. But you can look, Dusty, in that little sprocket. When you go to change a hero, it shows you exactly which server you're on. Now, of course, we started here and we started early. So we actually got early release as a content creator. They did give us the ability to log on a couple hours early onto the servers, which was really cool. It was really cool after everything we did with the PTR and everything. We got some early, but of course, server 1, very, very similar to AFK Arena. The early servers are very, very heavy pay to win because of course, a lot of the players want to be on the very first server. And we've seen that with a couple of guilds right off the bat. We've seen some heroes that literally had within the first day. We've seen a lot of heroes that were already multiple stars across the board. Looking at 2 million plus power within essentially the first day, which is crazy. So S19 for Dusty. There you go. Do you know what guild funds are for? Maybe future content. It might be. It might be because I know as you start getting the levels up in the guild funds, yeah, I would say, I don't know exactly what they're used for at this point. But I think right now it's the levels. And again, I believe the guild funds is what levels up. There we go, member rewards. So Vanguards did pretty well. Look at that, 6,000 guild medals. But I thought it was to level this up. I thought this was what the guild funds did. And essentially it gives you a lot. I'm hoping they add a lot more in here. But I thought the guild funds leveled up the guild level. There you go. The guild fund levels up the guild level. So effortless contribution of building greatness, the glory of the collective should not be tainted by personal gains. The foundation funds for members to construct the guild acquired by completing guild quests. I thought that was the levels. If I remember, Darth, I thought, again, it might just be me and I might be way off base, but I thought that's what contributed to the guild levels. I picked up the Odin skin yesterday. Very nice, Raphael. I picked it up today. I actually just literally went through the content, picked up the skin today. It's really cool, but I don't use a lot of the skins. I'm not going to buy any of the skins, just the sheer cost of them. But I love that they put a skin on Oden. And the way that they did it, guys, the skins are awesome. Now, of course, with the new season of AFK Journey, we're getting a Brutus skin. I want to see exactly what the new Brutus skin is going to essentially look like. But I know a lot of players have said that it looks really, really cool. And again, guys, we're just farming diamonds, but we're farming essence. And I wonder if nobody as of yet, we got to be close. We're about 700 away. Then, of course, we're picking up some more equipment. Boom, we got to max out our equipment at 240. So we just have a long ways to build out that 240 equipment. But like I was saying, guys, we're literally just going through here and farming. So it looks like peaks 6 looks pretty good. Again, these quests I'm going to have to go through and kind of finish out. But I think most of this, progression-wise, we're finishing most of this out. And I don't know why these are so low. So peak 6, we have one chest in there. Then 7 and 8, you can see I skipped everything in 7 and 8. We got to find a small chest. I'm wondering if it's in the basement here. Let me take a look. I literally, like I said, I was on lunch today at work. I ran through essentially all of 7, all of 8. I'm wondering, there it is. So there, let's go ahead and take out some of these enemies. I thought the chest might be here, but this will complete the zone. And then we have 7 and 8, and the zones are completed in their entirety. I see a little Twinkie over here, or a little Twinkle. Not a Twinkie though, even though I'm a little bit hungry. Yeah, definitely want to hop in here. Let's farm out and kill these. Because of course, guys, these give you loot. These give you resources, these give you loot. We also get gold, which is a pretty hot commodity right now. But I feel like where we're at gear-wise, where we're at, especially with the milestones, we have pretty much everything built. Everything built, everything bought. We're getting there very, very fast. And Odie is a monster. Guys, if you haven't built Odie, if you're newer to AFK Journey, Odie is 100% just an absolute monster within this game, which is cool to see. So I'm wondering how we open that door. I didn't see, and again, I just ran through literally this part earlier today, but we're gonna have to see exactly where we got to make some progression. And look at Odie: 1 kill, 2 kills, 3 kills, 4 kills. Boom! There's Odie shot, 5 kills, just like that. I'm 30 levels off of 240. I feel so behind. You'll get there, Soul. Honestly, I went to Costco for dinner. On the topic of food, Costco. Did you get the pizza? Did you get the pizza, or did you get the absolute giant hot dog that we see in Costco? Let me see. So this, oh, literally you just step on it. Some of the puzzles in here, or some of the things like that, are just kind of for not, like you literally just step on something and that's it. It just opens. Even the puzzles, I feel like the complexity of the puzzles in this game could have been a lot better. Sold, you'll actually catch up really fast. I felt like I was really behind, struggling to make some progression. Then with the rate boost, buy with diamonds to go in there and build it out. And I want to do summons on here too. We'll do summons once we get a little bit more loot. But go through and buy out your essence out of there, because that has been really the pivotal point. If you're getting some of the essence, you can make progression really fast. And literally, like I said, I went through zone 5, 6, 7, and 8 today alone, Soul, to go ahead and get some better gear and essentially make some more faster progression. And it worked very, very fast. And honestly, it was kind of crazy how much progression. I feel like and not only not enough puzzles, I feel like they almost need to do something like AFK Arena, where all of the puzzles are kind of centralized in one specific place. I think would be pretty cool, to just have the ability to essentially go through and just have a multitude of puzzles. Because I feel like most puzzles, I'll move like one thing. I'll literally, some puzzles I move one thing and that's it. The puzzle completes on its own. When I'm trying to look at it, when I'm trying to figure out like what I have to do in the puzzle's already done. So it's kind of silly to a point where some of the puzzles, like I said, they made them so incredibly easy. I felt like it took away some of the complexity, like even AFK Journey or AFK Arena. When you look at some of the Peaks of Time or even some of the Voyage of Wonders, puzzles got a little bit complex for the most part. This game, not too much. I would have liked to see, and maybe in the new season they'll be a lot more complex to figure out some of those kind of puzzles. Now, looking at my formation, my Pariza at Supreme is fantastic, does crazy damage. So I've never built Pariza, so thank you for noting that, Dusty. Pariza is another hero that I haven't built just because I feel like in this game, summons are incredibly slow. Now, I know a lot of players have kind of echoed my resentment with that. It seems like summons in here are very, very slow. I feel like the diamond accumulation is pretty slow in this game, but overall getting, the invitation scrolls, getting the epic ones, just overall slow. And again, kind of comparing it to AFK Arena, it seemed like comparison-wise that they are a little bit slower, but you have to take that kind of with a grain of salt because we don't have as many heroes. I mean, even the heroes in here are pretty limited. So I feel like that could be a big part of, the progression or going through and making content as fast as we do is just because there are not as many heroes. So it does take a lot longer. Yeah, Pariza, again, we're slowly kind of building them out and switching out a lot of heroes. Now, I believe at this point, this is the silly immunity hero. So some of these have an immunity hero where essentially you can't kill. And you can see, guys, we're just literally waiting for the timer. Sometimes the timer speeds up on its own, but we are just sitting here waiting the entire time. Not too many events. AFK Arena was better than this. So it was in the beginning. So I'm still playing, of course. I've played AFK Arena for now 5 years. There wasn't as many events. So literally AFK Arena would run an event. At the beginning, we would wait usually about a week, maybe a week and a half. They would run another event. And that is the way they kind of ran it through AFK Arena. In here, it seems like there's a lot more events, but the loot is pretty limited with the events that we're getting. Even when you look at the time aspect, some of it does take an incredible amount of time. But I feel, again, when it comes to the multiple ways to get heroes, and then, of course, the loot factor, or essentially the building factor, it's been pretty slow overall in comparison to, again, some other games that I've played. I felt like it was just a little slower overall. But yeah, AFK Arena at this point, if you guys are playing or have played AFK Arena, events are like candy. In AFK Arena, and I got the hiccups. In AFK Arena, events right now are literally like candy. They're running events on events on events on top of events on top of events in AFK Arena, and it's kind of crazy because right now I think we have like 5 different events going out, and then of course you have the Temple Rift that is coming in there, you have the Nightmare Corridor, you have the Curse Realm, you have the Treasure Scramble on top of all the regular events. It's insane like how much content is just being kind of pushed out of that game or pushed really through that game. It's kind of crazy. Now, Corrupted Creatures, I love finding these. I didn't even see. Corrupted Creatures give you a stupid amount of loot, which is good. It is very, very cool. There's a couple that I want to build out. Events in AFK Arena is a lot. Yes. And that's what a lot of players are kind of saying, Soul, that AFK Arena has been very, very event heavy and time consumption heavy. Now, good news is, I don't know if you caught some of the insider information, Soul. When it comes to AFK Arena, they're actually going to be doing some things with collections that's going to be able to essentially improve on your collections that you have in the game. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how they build it, or essentially what they build it out. Yeah, it's going to be kind of crazy. Played AFK Arena since 2019. It's a really, really fun game. For me, even with all the new heroes, all the builds, all of the new Draconis heroes, it's a ton of fun. There we go. We got 1 in here. Let's see. We just wait a minute or two. Ready. We can take it out with 3. There we go. Sometimes other players don't join at all. So let's go ahead. We'll throw Thorin in here. Let's throw Odie in here. Let's go Coco in here. There we go. I'm happy. And of course, if you guys haven't built out, so Floribel, I don't have built out, but Floribel is a pretty impressive hero. overall, with her little minions that pop up everywhere, Floribel's doing pretty well, especially when you run Coco in a formation with Floribel, because all of Floribel's little seeds or little petalings, whatever you want to call them, get the buff that Coco provides. So you can see the attack up, everything else works very, very well. Thank God they do something with the collections. Yes. And that's what a lot of players have said, Soul, is when you come to collections, it's a nightmare. But look at the gear, guys. Those are, boom, 3 sets of 225 gloves, 400 right there just from the corrupted, which is going to give it, oh no, we are less than 100 away. I'm wondering if we can pick up some of these. Less than 100 away at this point to get the build. Let's hop in. Let's see our dailies. Yeah, let's knock some of these out. And again, getting some more of these. Again, at 240 loot right there, which is awesome. What did we collect? 3 or 4? We need what, 240? Or do we need towers? Yeah, 76 in the legend. I literally forgot and left the towers for a little bit of time now. Absolutely going to have to do those to go ahead and finish those out. Of course, world enemies. We farmed through a ton of world enemies. Even the noble path, I believe, is almost done. So right there is 90. That takes us to 85. No more essence at this point, but we will get there. Boom, got another copy of Corinne right there. And again, we're going to have to go through and equip a ton of gear. I had the chicken and fries as well as some pizza from Costco. Yeah, the pizza there is good. On occasion, I've had their pizza, but they have some pretty good food overall for, for a wholesale place. I know a lot of people, and there we go. 240. First hero is completed. Corrosive Dart, level 5. There is 240 max hero level reached. Finally, guys, finally, we are getting these heroes to 240. Now, I think it's going to take probably another 2 or 3 days, but essentially that should, 2 or 3 more days, we should be able to max everyone out. We should definitely be able to. What's going on, Renard? I saw the thumbnail, didn't realize it was AFK Journey, thought it was about the new Awakened Mauler. So the Mauler, they're saying, Renard, and again, rumor around the rumor mill, if you're checking out Discord, if you're checking out Reddit, a couple other places, they're saying that the Mauler is not an Awakened Mauler, that it is going to be a Ranger Mauler, which again, gonna have to see exactly what comes out of there. So, and if they release just another damage dealing Mauler that is not Awakened, we're starting to get a little bit further in the year, guys. We're already, of course, tomorrow is May, which means if we're coming out with crossovers, if we're coming out essentially with everything else that, we're thinking about with AFK Arena, we're going to essentially have to start getting some of the content done. And I mean, honestly, I don't even know if I did this one right. I wasn't even paying attention. I thought maybe we were supposed to have another hero in here. I'm going to have to look. Let me see if I can take out this guy. I think maybe this one was supposed to have 2 heroes. And again, we're starting to... No, just one. I wonder if... I'm wondering if I need to use the other hero. And if you don't know, guys, with the tactical drills, if you fail it, I believe it's twice. They just give you the assist. And I think maybe I do need the other, or maybe, yeah, I think if I fail it here, it does the assist. This I'm wondering where, oh, I'm going to have to hit him too. Immobilized, which is okay. Wait, there's a new Mauler hero in AFK Arena. It's coming soon. That is the next hero that is going to be coming, is going to be a Mauler hero in AFK Arena. So Dolly kind of talked about it. Use Kruger and trap the other one. Yeah, so I can, and again, if you do this 3 times, you can just do assist. It'll do it by itself, which is pretty easy. There we go. So the immobilization takes that long. That's why. There we go. So Kruger will get it done. $1.50 for a hot dog. Yeah, it's insane. And again, when you think of, so funny story, Raphael, we have a place around here that sells corn dogs. So they have a corn dog place that is right around here. And corn dogs are $7 for a corn dog. That is right, guys. When you think of the price of the hot dog being $1.50 for a hot dog, yes, it is literally $7 for $7 for a corn dog. So just to put the price perspective, again, when you think of, you know, some different places to eat and stuff like that, yes, there's a place around here that has $7 corn dogs, which is kind of crazy. There we go. So 1, 2, 3. Like I said, with these, they could make them a lot more. They could make them a lot more difficult. They could make it a lot more intuitive, I guess. Maybe a little more difficult. Let's not even throw the word a lot in there. Yes, I know. And we had them with my kids' school, and they were okay. But when I look at the price, I'm like, yeah, I'm a little too frugal to pay that much for a corn dog, which I think we just have a chest sitting there. I thought we'd have to go fight for that one, but no, it's literally just sitting there. Yeah, kind of crazy. Love the love the assist. Absolutely. And I wish I could make it bigger. Maybe I'm just getting old, which I am. But it's the chat I can't make bigger. I tried a couple different ways just to make it, again, a little bit of a different size, but I can see a ton of the YouTube chat there, and I couldn't find a way to change the font. There has to be a way, I'm assuming, but one day we'll figure it out. I'm playing Mario Kart. Very nice. I love Mario Kart, and I have Mario Kart. If you don't know, so I have Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. We have it on the 64. We have it for the Switch. We have it for a majority of the game systems. We're rocking Mario Kart in so many different avenues, and it's always fun. You talk about a very, very solid go-to game. Yeah, Mario Kart is a blast. It's still playing with the kids. They love playing Mario Kart. It is a ton of fun. Now, it looks like this whole place back here, a crimson treasure that we got to go all the way through. You're not old. Yeah, that's what young people say until you ask your kids. Ask your kids what they consider old. If you're like me and you have a 10-year-old, old is when you hit about 15. 15 is already on the old wagon. And again, really depending on who you ask on exactly how the old factor kind of plays. If you're 30, yeah, 40, 45, 50, retirement is old. When you're retired, 80, 90, 100 may be old. Yeah, it's all kind of relative. Double Mauler release Awaken and a 4 like they did with the Brutus and Anasa. They could, Renard. That's actually a good question. Where if they released more than one Mauler, which is kind of funny because if you've seen the update that we have coming for AFK Journey, we're getting double Maulers. So if Lilith decided to release 4 Maulers at the same time, if we got 2 in Journey, if we got 2 essentially in AFK Arena, and I'm almost wondering if, and you know what, this is going to be kind of a good question with a poll. And I don't know where exactly where we go. This is kind of, and this is a question that I had, is saving our summons. So I'm kind of wondering if there's a point like we should save the summons we're picking up now, knowing the new season is coming, to see kind of what the new season brings. Or just utilizing the summons now to go ahead and build it. Because again, similar to AFK Arena, I mean, right now we know all the heroes that are here. We know essentially what we're going to build right now, but we don't know what the rate up summons are going to look like when it comes to essentially the next part of this game. What is it going to look like in its entirety? You know, again, with 2 new Mauler heroes essentially that are coming, what's that going to look like as well? As early as the game is, no saving, and that's what I kind of thought, Dusty. I don't have Smokey. I'm in level 150. Oh, RNG I don't have. Yeah, Smokey, I'm in level 150. This game, like I said, it seemed like progression started pretty slow, and then once we started getting a little bit further, I feel like we've ramped up a crazy amount of progression in this game. Honestly, once I started hitting about the 180 level, it seemed like the ramp up factor in this game just went kind of parabolic based on getting more loot, based on getting a couple more heroes. And if you haven't checked out the summons we did yesterday, it was bonkers. It was absolutely I'm saving my essence for an X weapon. Yeah, and I don't know exactly how it's going to work. And that's kind of the question that, again, a lot of players are having is without the seasons being out, seeing essentially how it's going to work, if it's going to be worth essentially just stockpiling everything. Is it just going to be for naught that we should have absolutely used it? How do I give you an order? Oh, so little NPCs kind of playing around here. All right, so we got most of this built out, or most of this kind of put through. Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's going to be more beneficial to utilize the new heroes, knowing that it's kind of the Mauler faction or the Mauler season that's coming, to make more progression. When you hit the 1 year spot, we can determine the power creep. So it's interesting because with the power creep, and again, this is very similar to what we've seen with Dragonair, is a lot of the power creep doesn't exist for the most part because of the seasonality of rewards. And again, that's what we've seen with Dragonair is most of the heroes carried over and a lot of the content carried over, but it really, when it reset new seasons, it was a game changer. It's almost starting at a very, very basic level in the game, which is essentially what we've seen kind of time and time again. I'm wondering if, again, we go in, let's do... I was kind of thinking the same here where we're going to have to probably immobilize. I'm thinking off the bat here because I know the life leech factor isn't going to work. And of course, we have to do this with Seth because, of course, he's our only... Oh, no, we do have another one. But I'm wondering if... Yeah, we're going to have to wait. Oh, never mind, because it's already up right there. Yeah, we didn't even have to wait for that one. And again, the heal factor, let's go ahead and... Yeah, I think I messed up the timing in there. Almost got the ult, though. Might be able to finish it. Boom, there we go. Yeah, and again, so you figure the 1 year spot in AFK Journey. So when we're hitting the 1 year spot, we're talking 2 seasons already done. So again, that's going to be super interesting to see what that gameplay kind of looks like with the power creep, what it looks like big picture with AFK Journey, with essentially, like I said, having all of the seasons going through, because of course, if you're farming a ton of stuff during the season, a lot of the stuff leaves, or a lot of the stuff essentially you don't carry over season to season. You don't carry back to the main game, which means that essentially we're going to be starting over with the new seasons. I know you keep the heroes that you built, but as you get new heroes, again, there was a portion that you carried over and a portion that you didn't carry over, which is going to be, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what it looks like. So healing or buffs from an ally. Let's go with Coco. Coco, of course, when you talk about healing, when you talk about buffing, yeah, Coco's pretty broken. I don't think we'll hit a power creep for a while, to be honest. No, I mean, short of being a whale and just building everything out, Soul, it's going to be a while. I shouldn't have played AFK Journey Beta because at this point it stopped working and I stopped playing. Oh, did it? It stopped working. So I have a lot of problems, Renard, with the iPad. So when I go in there and look at this, we're 50-50 on our votes, but I have a ton of problems on a tablet, which doesn't work. So my tablet doesn't work, and it is super, super hard with AFK Journey to play AFK Journey on my tablet. When I play here on my PC, it runs amazing. I mean, even now we're literally running this game at full resolution, not having any problems. I know latency sometimes with the stream can be a problem, but overall, again, we're running this at its entirety and it works very well. So, all right, so what do we got? Channels, some receptacles. So again, just kind of turn this until you get a different way. Then I'm wondering if this is going to be kind of the same. Maybe Might have to turn another one of these, because I think maybe one more time. That's going off in the distance. That's not going to do anything. That's shining right back. That's going to this one. We might actually have a puzzle that's a little bit more difficult, just to kind of get the reflection. But I think we need, what, 2? There we go. Yep, we got it. Yeah, so save the summons, and I think the answer was yes. I think, so right now we might just hold on to those summons. See, so let's go in the treasure cavern. And again, guys, I like going through this with you guys during the live stream, because this is literally the first time seeing all of this content. Everything that we're doing here is for the first time. I haven't seen it. We didn't get this far on the PTR. We haven't made essentially any of this progression. But what is down here in the treasure trove? We got what, we have a thief down here, which I'm not sure, sleeping on a pile of gold. But look at that. Had a lot of treasures. Didn't even get a big treasure though. We should just go ahead and collect up all the rest of this gold, I'm thinking. That way we can kind of finish this part out. I was on the PC like an old build, like September 2023. I think he means, oh, the beta server closed. Yeah, and that's why, if you guys remember, if you stop playing because of the beta server closed, I stopped playing AFK Journey knowing that the beta server was not moving over to the permanent servers about a month, maybe a month and a half before the actual release of this game. I quit playing, and there's an orange. I quit playing because I knew they weren't merging. I knew they weren't going over. So what happens if you spend money on the season? You get rewards back after it ends. So Darth, the answer to that was no. So again, that's going to be very interesting, where you can pay for progression and build stuff out, spending real money on the season. Some stuff does carry over. Some stuff does stay. Some stuff you got, and again, I'm saying this right now, and you have to take it with a grain of salt, because what they did again in Dragon Air, and this is where I'm kind of just drawing some of my conclusions from, is in Dragon Air is the purchases, essentially you were credited with a currency to use for other things. So you didn't get a rebate, you didn't get the money back, you didn't get the rewards back, but things that you purchased, they gave you a credit to essentially buy things in other places to make progression faster, kind of from season to season. And again, Darth, I don't know if this is exactly how they're going to do it. I might be, 100% off, but I'm just kind of referring to, again, how they did it in Dragon Air was when the season ended, the purchases you made were refunded in almost like a ticket, but you could only use the ticket on stuff from the main game outside of the season. So again, I don't know if that's what they're going to do here, but could be. Dragons are in the new power keep like the Dims. Ainz gets rocks by the awakened heroes. Dragons should break the rest until new heroes. So one of the things, Dusty, is with the Draconis heroes, we're not seeing them in a ton of places. I really thought when it came to those Draconis heroes that literally we would start seeing them in a ton of different content, and we're not. Which again is interesting to see that we're not seeing them really built as many places as we have, or as I've thought, which again, it's still early. We could still see them in a bunch of different places, but it is still relatively early for the Draconic heroes. So only time will tell exactly where we're using them, how effective they are in a lot of different game modes. That again is just going to be what happens. We'll have to see. We'll have to see where the power creep essentially goes to. If it goes parabolic, if literally Hilduin is being used everywhere, it's going to be a matter of time. So we're cleaning a lot of this out, guys. And again, we got what, 54% on the summons. We have some scrolls. We have a lot of stuff that, again, we've just been kind of saving, and we can do the same. Runs amazing on my phone, but my tablet. Yeah, and I know Soul, they've addressed that. They've kind of talked about it a couple times about all of the issues that players are having on tablets. which again is something, you know, they've addressed. They know it's an issue. They're trying to find some workarounds to really make it run really smooth. Eddie is so cute. They should bring him over to AFK Arena. And I don't know, Bernard, that was another question that a lot of players were also having is, are they going to essentially back heroes to AFK Arena, similar to how they moved heroes from AFK Arena into AFK Journey? Again, that is something that is going to be right now a really, really big question mark on what happens essentially with the content. What happens? I hope they don't let him become the savviest of this game. Yeah, honestly, when you look at Eddie or Odie, very broken. The hero overall is very, very broken with the design and the way the insta kill. So we know, even going back to when we were on the PTR, when we were on the test servers, very broken. The hero has been very broken and still continues to be very, very broken in all of the game modes. Now here we have, it looks like we're closed off from the rest, so we got to kind of go up and around. But I'm thinking like 7, we have a little bit more to do in 7, a little bit more to do in 8, and that's really it. So again, this whole pathway back through here on 8. Now, of course, making our progression, let's hit up Key Store and see what we got. The whale's struggling to get copies in the end. Some dragons are going to be broken. Remember Lucretia? Yeah. Honestly, Lucretia wasn't very good at the beginning. But remember, they also buffed Lucretia. So here, I think at this point, I think Key Store is pretty well bought out. Which here we just have gear. Here we just literally have gear. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of this gear. Even if we're looking to take this gear and kind of recycle it, we'll use it for what it is. But I think once we kill out the rest of the monsters, 2 more, and this will be sold out in its entirety. Now, also getting a lot more out of here is going in to Ironhoof. Ironhoof, of course, selling some better gear in here. I remember Lucretia. Absolutely just a broken hero. And then, of course, Ainz came out. Just another very, very broken hero we've seen. What do we got? 230s across the board. We don't have enough gold. Look at that, guys. We are gold poor across the board right here. But we're going to continue. We're going to continue farming up the gold. Now, of course, AFK rewards. This is a big place to get. There's another 25K right there. We have to push this all the way to the end, which is, I think, right here, 11:15. I think it goes further than that. I could be mistaken, but overall, we'll have to see, because, of course, battle modes, we got to go through all the Dream Realm. We got to do Labyrinth. We still have a ton of stuff to do within here. Not only getting more levels, but also just making progression in general, so we can build up a lot more heroes and just continue, again, building up everybody. I'm super stoked for where our progression is. We got to push a lot more. We got levels now. Not too worried. And even when it comes to the towers, I feel like towers, we can make an insane amount of progression. I feel like at 71, we should have no problem, because even when we were going through here, all in all, with 5 different heroes, I was probably about 50 levels less. I would probably say roughly 50 levels less at this point. So I'm thinking going in here, let's do a 240, and I'm going to do this for, let's do Floribel. There we go. Everyone's at 230. Floribel's a little bit higher. I'm going to see about Floribel and how she works, because, of course, the little podlings will come out. And level-wise, again, I feel like this is just going to be super easy to get through here. People were so attached to Lucy, it took them a while to realize she wasn't worth building. Yes, Renard. And a lot of players still ask about Lucy. I really do see that a lot. If they add Isabella to Journey, I'll max her out like AFK Arena. Very nice. Isabella, and we're hoping Graveborn might see the Awakened version of Isabel, which, again, would be pretty interesting to see. I would already say Chimera is better in Tower 2. People didn't want to believe me. Oh, yeah. Kanisa and Rook, broken. Absolutely broken. Still being used. I honestly, Renard, we're still seeing Kanisa and Rook used in quite a few places, which is awesome to see. But I feel like we're getting to the point where a lot of heroes, again, are being kind of power crept out. But there's still a ton of heroes that are coming. And, of course, with the new patch, with the new Dolly dialogue, got another 2 weeks. More heroes are going to be coming, essentially, just like we're seeing in this game a lot. I need Solus in the AFK Journey. Yeah, there you go. The Awakened version of Solus, we need Soul, which, again, would be pretty broken in its entirety to see. Now, I know a lot of players making progression in here have already maxed out the towers, maxed out pretty much all the game mode at this point, which is cool to see, but we are getting there again. We're probably a couple days behind. D2 has been said that I've been catching up to him kind of little by little. And there we go. So we got more of those temporal essence. Got to build them up. I think I'm going to build up Odie. I don't know. We need a lot more of the basic essence. Honestly, we're going to have to find a place to farm up a lot of that basic essence to continue building them out. But like I said, level-wise, definitely can make a ton more in here. Oh, you want the regular soulless? I like the regular soulless, just doesn't work. Are there collabs in AFK Arena? Yes, Darth. There's a lot. We've had a lot of collaborations. I believe 8, maybe 10. I would say at least 8, just with the crossover heroes, with the collaboration heroes. Yeah, we've had quite a few. There's been quite a few collaborations through the years with AFK Arena, which is cool. But all right, guys, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just farm this out. I'm done for tonight, though. Thank you guys for joining me for the very late, kind of last-minute stream. Again, I knew there's a lot of content that we got to cover in here, a lot more that we still have to go through. I'm going to go through the next couple days, farm out everything else, get everything unlocked so we can actually get into the new season upon release so we can stream some more of that new season. But all right, like I was saying, that is going to do it for our stream for tonight. Thank you guys for joining me in the very, very late last-minute stream. So much more coming with AFK Journey and AFK content with AFK Arena. And of course, check out the finance channel if you haven't checked it out yet. Still a lot more coming on there as well, as we're getting just, in my opinion, better and better at YouTube, but also having an incredible fun time doing it. But again, that is going to do it for today's stream. Have a good night, guys. Definitely make your progression in AFK Journey. You got to get to the point of being able to start the new season off right. So again, thank you guys for joining me for the stream. And again, thank you guys for watching.